Hi, so I thought I'd do one. Do one now while I'm in the mood for a vid. Today's update, so how's it gone? Well, let me show you. The flooring's been took up. The tiler came over from the other week that came over that had a look at the tiles and was like, good God, what a bloody mess. And he was shocked and horrified by what he saw of the tiles. So, anyhow, I didn't know if he was going to be coming back to actually do the job of retiling. And then when he turned up today, I was really pleased because he's a really good worksman, does a really good job, and he had a really good eye on things and, above and beyond, really helpful. And, and so anyway, when he turned up today, he came into the kitchen and he went, oh no. So yeah, as I said last night on my vid, all that light there is dry. This is sopping wet still. There's no way they can put tiles on that, because put tiles on it, they're just going to fall off. So yeah. So all this has dried out gorgeous. All dried out. I can't. I'm not an owl. I can't do 360. But it's still wet there. And there. I mean, this took a bit longer than expected to dry when it was done at the last time. So anyway, so yeah, that was done. He was like, there's no way that it's still wet. There's no way I can do this, he says. He went to his van. He came back with all the tiles that he picked up. So these are what they are. I haven't had the opportunity to pick my own tiles, but do you know what? These are fine. These are the white ones that the new ones got put down. They're fine. They'll do. They're great. I would have liked to have had a little bit of a choice on that, but not to worry. I had somebody that asked me if I picked my own tiles out yet, and I was like, I can't remember who it was, but I thought that I don't think you get to choose that part. Maybe when it's the housing group that you do, but for these you don't. I don't know. But anyway, it was a no. So he brought all them over. So there's plenty there. Those that were down there left that with these, the guys that came yesterday to take the rubbish took them away. So anyway, he was like, can't do this. So we phoned up the chap whose name's Mick, and he came and he phoned him up and he says, I've sent you photos, it's still too wet to do. What do you reckon? Would I be okay? He says, I've been chatting to the lady. Would I be all right to take the flooring up? And then just go around with a scraper and tidy all the edges and stuff and get it all prepped for when the work is going to be done. So tomorrow the floor guys have got no excuse to not do the job. He'd obviously been told, yes, get on, that's fine, get on with that type of thing. And so we got to work, and he was there with a scraper and, doing all the edges and tidying it up and making it room ready. And then the time came round as to where the my OT and the chap that's been in charge of the whole operation, he was back off holiday. I think they've both had a bit of a roasting over to how long this has taken. And I still get that song. How long has this been going on? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I'm sure they've had their roasting. If not this morning, then yesterday. And they came over. I had a face that was like really nervous about what to say over it all. I hate confrontation, I really do. And I was really nervous about what they were going to say and how they were going to be and all that shit. Yeah, and I didn't know how it was going to go. And the Tyler, who was turned into the floor guy, I think he was like, shit, I just want to get out of the way before the fur starts to fly. So anyway, he got it all up in one piece. It soon was up. He'd tidied round. I'd started talking. And I actually said, because at first she took me down to the bathroom and, you know, Craig, Mr. Useless, who couldn't organise his work of a wet paper bag, was in here. You know, nice job, nice work, innit? Hey, I was looking and I'm thinking, you bullshitter. You approved all those tiles that were all a mixture of old and new, thrown in together, any old how, all the electrics and how they were sort of all over the place. You were okay with that. But yeah, now you've had your hands wrapped, it's like all of a sudden you're going, nice work, doesn't this look good? Oh, it looks so much better. Bullshitter. So yeah, anyway, she took me down to the bathroom and had a look at the door, and I thought, well, you need to come more than once in a while. It's like having an over the phone doctor's appointment and trying to explain how a rash looks or something. They've got one idea in their head, or, you know, a swelling or a pain or something that visually they need to see, and you've got this lump going on or whatever, and you know, they're guessing. It isn't the same as a face-to-face. And she came out and she had a look and she was like, oh, this is quite good, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's quite good, this, she says. So anyway, I then said about the door handle and the lock, and she was like, well, the trouble is you can get those buckled up if you're not careful. And I thought, well, I'll take the chance, you know. The chances of it coming down and not being shut properly is slim to none. I think it's great. It'll do me. I bet my neighbour's going to buzz for his parcel and come in for a no. So I'm going to have to start this all over again if that's the case. I've just heard the door go. So yeah, and then I said about the handle in the middle, and I said I wouldn't mind a long handle instead, like a grab rail to push. And she says, well, it's a thin board door, it's light. I'm going to ask him when he comes in, because he's a painter and decorator and he's a man. You know, it's a bit of a man job, isn't it? I can ask him and say, am I being fobbed off, or is that, you know, totally right that if you put something on it, it's going to come off? Because I'll wait until after they've gone, and then I'll get some something to bond it to the door rather than nails and stuff, and just, you know, so it's there if need be. Yeah, I'm just sick of being messed around, you know, like the little woman that doesn't know anything. And I really wasn't saying an awful lot at that point. I was so exhausted. I could hardly keep my eyes open. I'd had an hour's sleep. I felt like shit. I've got a chap that's in my kitchen pulling the floor up, sort of wanting to get out as fast as possible before warm, before the shit hits the fan. Um, mm, um, but then that's what she come out with, is that handle can't go there. We can't have a long handle because it's only going to be thickness in the middle of the door. I don't know. So anyway, got something here. It's just annoying me. Yeah. But other than that, she was like, "That's cool, isn't it? I need the radiator out in the hallway sorting out, so I'm waiting to see what happens when the plumber comes. Because I've sort of forgotten about that when I got sidetracked with everything. Yeah, so then we came into the kitchen area. I felt really sick. I just wanted, and it's like he was trying to sort of make out that he was the best person to organise all this, except he hadn't organised what was being organised by this Mick chap. Has suddenly been every day something happening. And yeah, and I said that about the fact that there's workers for this company, that there's those that are absolutely shit and they do bugger all. You didn't know I'm filming him because he hates a camera on him. Hates a camera, don't you? He's like, no. Yeah. So it was like, I said there's workers that don't work, and then there's the workers that do. And I said the workers that do, they do more than enough and they go above and beyond. And I'd said to her about the cupboards and the fact that I wanted some holes that needed drilling just below the holes that were there. And I had somebody that gave me a hand and did those, that had issues of his own health issues. And, he did it. And I said it was just a few bloody holes, It wasn't like I was asking you to take the cupboard apart, and the one that was stood here doing fuck all, was, I don't know what he was doing, but he was just watching the other one working because he had nothing to do. And then he started pottering around with a dustpan and brush and attempting to hoover with this hoover that was like buying a cheap hoover, and it doesn't suck anything up. So he was chasing a piece of paper around with the hoover for God knows how long. And he could have done with them holes. And she was like, it's not feasible for that to be done on this on this job. And I said, maybe not, but something that would have took somebody 2 minutes. I said, it's just like stepping outside the box and going, do you know what? I'll do that for you. It's like going that extra 50 pence further. Surely it's not that much of a hardship to get him to drill a few holes in the drawers, in the cupboards. You're making it out such a lot. Anyway, she was, it's not feasible. And I thought, yeah, you've got your knickers in a knot because you've friggin' been told off, haven't you, by my housing officer, and you've been sort of rumbled by how long this is taking. Personally, I sort of wonder if they're cutting corners and saving on the grant. What they save in the council, do they have like a bonus or something? It makes me wonder. So yeah, she decided to be, it's not feasible. And I thought, you know what? It sounds like when you're having an argument with a child. Yes, you can. No, you can't. And they're like, yes, you can. And it's like, it goes on for about 10 minutes. And in the end, you just think, fuck it. Yeah, you can. Just to shut them up. So I thought in the end, you know what? Forget it. Floor guy at that point then was like, right, I'm off now. Bye. Could see the awkwardness in his face. But I said, when he was here pulling the floor up, I said to her, I said that you got your contractors that are fantastic, they're like really shit, but then you get the ones like this man here that are going above and beyond. I mean, I said he could have stuck his head round the door, looked at that wall and gone, oh, it's all wet. I can't stick the tiles on that. And then she said, oh, we really can't stick these tiles on wet, wet poly, well, whatever. Whatever, I can't think of the word. My brain's just gone. Plaster, that's it. The tiles will fall off. And I was like, yeah, I know that. I do have, I'm not that brain, thick. I'm not that brain dead. I do, have some sort of, watch enough DIY SOS and all that shit to, to have a little bit of knowledge. I'm not that great at DIY. I'm absolutely shit at it. In fact, my son's like in a panic when he sees me with a hammer in my hand, and it's like, I'm going to bang a nail in a wall. He's like, oh, God, that kind of thing. But yeah, Gizmo, will you stop it? So yeah, and I said that, he's phoned up and, asked, shall I do the flooring, pull it up? And she said, and go, tidy the edges up. Didn't have to do that. And she says, well, that's on the itinerary. And I said, yeah, but it wasn't his job to do it. He phoned up somebody else to ask, am I okay to do it? And, anyway, it was like, again, like arguing with a child. I thought, whatever, and then he went. I think he was very grateful. He waved both hands at me, like, thanks. I'm sort of saying how good he is. And he was very good, and I said he didn't have to do what he's done, but he's done it. He's here. And anyway, like arguing with a small child, in the end I just thought, you know what, give up. Then I come in here with an hymn, and I was on about that cupboard that's over there. Oh no, tell a lie, start it off. How did we start it? Because after that chap had gone, I felt really awful because he was here, and it's like, I don't want to be caught in the crossfire of all this. Get me out of here, all that stuff. And then he left. That was it. I had Craig stood here looking, don't, because we'll end up through the bloody wall. Switch my chair on. Just keep standing on it. Yeah. So Craig was stood like to one corner, sort of like, right, now he's gone. It's like, what's going to happen now kind of thing. And she was a bit nervous because I was very quiet and I wasn't saying an awful lot, to be honest. But then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give it good, tell them how I feel and how it's made me feel all these weeks. And I did. I just said, I've been sitting around week after week after week after week for 6 weeks. I haven't gone anywhere. Been up from like 7:30 in the morning right through till tea time. I've not gone anywhere because when I have gone anywhere for the first time on that first week where I had people come round, and then the joiner said, oh, no one's coming today. So I thought, right, I'll go out, get something to eat. And I said, I got as far as Asda and I got phone, can you come back? There's a builder that needs to come in. Well, it was a woman with a tape measure. It wasn't a builder. Yeah, so she wanted to go around measuring the doors, checking the distances and stuff. Yeah, so that was that. And I said, so I had to come back. So I haven't gone anywhere since for whole 6 weeks. So it's like been locked down for me. And of course I got the stories of, oh, well, every bit has got a wait time. And I'm thinking, come on, what a piss take. Think I'm completely thick. He was an absolute knob. He just like literally had an answer for everything. And then I just like carried on. And I said to him, I said, I'm not happy with the fact that, I struggle with waking up. I struggle with getting to sleep. I'm struggling in general with my health, with pain, fatigue, skin issues, infections. And, I said, I get no phone calls to let me know what's going on. And I said, I've had 1 hour's sleep today. And now I'm up to do this. My head is throbbing. My head's been throbbing the past couple of days, but today is like pounding. And I got this, oh, I'm sorry. And then, it's like a half-hearted, not even genuine sorry. It's just like a sorry. Yeah. And then I said about how my mental health and how it's made me feel. And, I've been a wreck and I've literally sobbed. And I said, I've had people that have been concerned about my mental health and how I've been and how I've, literally broken down with all this. And it's not on, 6 weeks is a long time for this. It's everything to be in boxes, everything to be in a mess, everything to be covered in dust. Nothing is clean, everything's dirty. It doesn't matter when you wash something, there's next day because you're waiting and it's had dust has had time to settle. It's back to square one. And I said, when you come out your living room and you don't want to come out your living room because you don't want to look, and I just burst into tears. I said, when you come out of your living room and you don't want to come this far because you don't want to look in the bedroom and see the mess that it's in. You don't want to come in here and you just look again day after day and the mess that's in. The stress that it's caused, not just me, but everybody here. My cat's being shut in every day, my son, not being able to cook food properly, living off, but, we've had no cooker for 3 weeks. Anyway, then she turned and she was like, oh, where's your hob? And I was like, I was an absolute wreck. I was like crying. I was thinking to myself, I hope my mascara, I know my mascara from Lime Life is amazing. I'm not going to cry. But my eyeliner, I wonder if that's running down my face and stuff. But yeah, we're okay. And I thought I've done, it's good. What I wanted to say off my chest, I wanted them to hear it. I didn't want to be sort of fobbed off halfway through a sentence and forget what I was going to say. I thought, I'm going to say my piece. You've really messed me around all this time. 6 weeks of being stuck in, not being able to go out, not do anything. My car has literally had to have a battery change because the car has not gone anywhere and it's fucked it up. It's fucked all the computer up, so it had to have a reset. They put me a new battery in the key fob just to make sure that everything's all tickety-boo. So anyway, I was so pissed off and it felt good to get it all off my chest, I tell you. And I thought, yeah. And she was like, oh. And then, of course, they looked at the hob and it was like, where's that gone? Has it not come? And I said, it came Good Friday. And then she was in a hoo-ha, in a knickers and a knot, because she said, Good Friday is a bank holiday. And I said, it's an unofficial bank holiday. And she said, no, it's a bank holiday. And I thought, here we go again. It's like arguing with a child. I says, in retail, Good Friday is technically not an official bank holiday. Businesses do not always class it as an official bank holiday. When I used to work at Asda, it wasn't classed as an official bank holiday. You had to work that Friday or lose the money. And anyway, she was all very, oh, it's an official bank holiday. And I thought, yeah, you're in a council office. So, of course, you get all your holidays. Every time there's a bank holiday, you get your bank holiday. But those that are in retail and in certain types of businesses and stuff, it doesn't work like that. So anyway, I just thought, you know what, it's pointless talking to you about this because you're not understanding me, you don't care. So yeah, I just left her having a waffle in the corner. And yeah, I said the state of the electrics when they came out was disgusting. They had photographs of all wires hanging out. And he was like, oh, they're quite tidy, aren't they? And I was like, no, these were hanging out. These have been undone again. They've been on and off. I've nearly said more times than a prostitute's knickers, but hey. Yeah. And so anyway, I kept it as it was. I just said, no, this isn't now. They came back out. He did take a photograph of, God, look at him. He's always hanging off my chair. Yeah, and gone. So there should be a socket there for the the dryer. You know, I can switch this on, so the electrics have been left on for this. It's weird how it works, how it's still able to work. And then there was a double at this end, but the guy that came to do the electric, he had his knickers in a knot because he said no to that corner socket, that corner double. He said no. And I was like, do you know what? When I had that, and he said no. And then the guy that came out, he said, okay, I'll do it, yeah. He contacted Craig, Mr. Useless, and he was like, yeah, okay. So we did it. So, yeah, so when this one come out, I think that's why he's got rid of it, because it's like, to spite me. So that's that. And then, what else? Oh, so I've got to contact AO over the hob. The oven part is out of stock till about June, July. However, Craig is going to be a fantastic human being, and he's actually used his initiative, and he's ordered it already from their stock thing. So it'll be with us in a couple of days. Amazing. He was on about this ages ago, and he was like, oh, it can be ordered, you know, I can have it tomorrow. And I'm thinking, well, bring it then. But she decided to do it the long way instead of the fast way. What's new there? So, cupboard has been off and on. Do you know, I've asked about this, and he was there with his tape measure, and he was like, oh, it's going to eat into the fan space, it's going to eat into those sockets, it's going to have to go back on there. So in the end, I was like, do you know what? I am fed up with this. Okay, let's put it back on there, forget it, because I am sick of it. You know, they have to have an answer for everything. And it was like, oh, I thought this was going to be an upright fridge freezer. And I says it will be as soon as all this work is done. They're delivering it me. It's coming. I said, someone's having this. Oh, are they? And I was like, yeah. I said, the chap that's had my cooker is having this as well. So, yeah, I asked about sockets, you know, those sockets that are there being moved from there to there, and apparently it's a huge job. And I thought, do you know what? I can't be arsed. I've watched these electricians and how they work it, and all they do is like maneuver some wires this way and then do it here. But to him it was a big issue, so I was like, okay, fine. So back up there it's going to be useless to me, but for my son it'll be fine. So at least all his cereal boxes and everything will be in there out the way. Yeah. So we just got to wait now for the drying out to happen. Flooring is happening tomorrow. They have got to move 1, 2, 3 out. So they're going to have to go in my bedroom, I think. Somewhere over there, I don't know where, because I'm just like out of space. It's a flat, it's not a house, you know. with oodles of room. Like my last address, they could have done it, no issues. Utility room, chuck them all in. Chuck it in the kitchen. Chuck it in the hallway, you know. I had a really long hallway, so it was fine. But here, you're really limited. And then the dryer's got to come out and the washing machine's got to be disconnected. So everything's got to come out so then they can get the flooring in. And I don't know whether they will put them back straight away, or are we going to be without these appliances for the weekend in here because the floor has to settle, or will they be back on the Saturday? I have no clue. No idea. So we'll see what happens here with all this. And then next week it's tiles, electrics and decorating. And he says, oh, you'll feel so much better in your head when all your stuff's in here and it's been decorated and the floor's down and all the electrics are in, you've got your hob and everything in, you'll be all right then. And I thought, don't start me. And then I asked the question then to the OT about, I said, there's these bits, these holes. Oh, they should have been, that's what Craig says, oh, they should have been filled in ages ago. They should have been sorted out. And then there's this doorway to be widened, but this is going to be when, on a different application, because the grant's already gone in for one lot, but they won't put it in for this on that lot, so they've got to put it on a separate one. And then the flooring will be done when the bathroom's been sorted out and the flooring's been sorted out in there. And then all of this will be all done together. So I don't know if it's all going to be done in like all one piece or something. I've no idea. But I don't really want wet room flooring in my hallway. But we'll see what happens. You know, I'll take whatever they give me, to be honest. But if I can choose some vinyl out here, great stuff, because I'll be really happy then. And that's it. So, productive day. God, it's gone dark now. Because I've had things sorted out in the kitchen. The flooring's up, even if it's ready to go, even if the tiling hasn't been done. You know, that couldn't be done. I knew last night when I saw it that the tiling wasn't going to happen. But the flooring's up. Now they're on about which flooring underneath is going to happen. He wanted to use some latex stuff. I said, I've got a latex allergy. And he's like, oh God. And I says, yeah. So, yeah, so that's got to be done, right? We'll see what happens, shall we? But, so yeah, productive day. I'm glad I've managed to say my piece and what I feel, you know. It really was good. It felt like, you know, when you stand in a field or something and have a scream when you feel so stressed out, and it's like a stress relief. That's how exactly it felt to me today. Relief took off my shoulders. Yeah. So I am very happy with that. There we are. I'll show you my cupboards inside, getting them looking a little bit better with all my labelling things, and there's not much there. There were loads of these yoghurt things. These are from what you call them, Alpro. I love these. There were quite a few of these, but I've eaten them. I was so hungry, and it's like something to eat. And then I've got a few bits and bobs there. I'll get some more shelving to come underneath, but I have seen on Amazon that there are those sticky, those ones that come down, so maybe I'll end up getting some of them. We shall see. I've seen some in a few places, so I'm going to see what I can do, because it would be rather good to get some of them in. You know, for things like up the top shelf and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so there we are. Right, I'm gonna go because I've rambled on long enough, over half an hour. Ooh, right, I'm gonna get something to eat on before he comes over for his parcel, and he sort of comes in, he wants to come in then for a nose just to see what's been done, as you do. Yeah, so anyway, right, I shall love and leave. Catch you later. Bye.